The title of today's short episode is Bad Fat. Well, for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see I'm holding up a sign here with the two words bad fat, and today we're going to talk about your bad fat or my bad fat. My name's Tristan Lowe. I'm a professional personal trainer and sports massage therapist with up to 18 years of experience training clients in the world of health, fitness and general well-being. Let's look at bad fat. In the last short episode, I looked at the good fat, and of course, for those of you who remember the 60s and the 70s, the title of the famous spaghetti western was The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So we've done the good fat, last one. This one's going to be bad fat. All right, there are three types of bad fat, and here they are. Okay, subcutaneous, orbital, and fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. So three types: subcutaneous, orbital, and fat-soluble vitamins. And these are generally considered bad fat. Now, it's a very broad subject, bad fat, but these are three short videos. This is number 2, and we're going to have a quick read about bad fat in the body. All right, let's start with the subcutaneous, number 1. Subcutaneous cells become starved of oxygen, hypoxic, inflamed and leaky. This triggers the release of free fatty acids and inflammatory cytokines into the bloodstream. They are directed towards the liver, where they contribute to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, systemic inflammation, metabolic syndrome, joint stress, sleep apnea, atherosclerosis, which is a furring of the blood vessels, and of course, many other metabolic diseases throughout the body. Okay, so that's an excess of bad fat in the subcutaneous fat. We've got orbital fat, orbital as in the eye. This type of fat becomes dangerous in thyroid eye disease, pushing the eye forwards, threatening vision. Actually, about 2 years ago, I had a personal training client who I suggested on a professional basis, he go and seek an appointment with his general practitioner with regards to the alarming amount of excess body fat that he started to carry. And the gentleman was about mid-40s, a working man, a family man. And although he would come and tell me that he'd had the odd white bread sandwich, the odd bag of crisps, can of Coke, things like that, there was something that added up in my experience that didn't add up to the amount of extraordinary fat deposits that he was building in the body. Gynecomastia, abdominal fat, facial fat, back fat. He was even storing fat in the base of his neck, the neck hump area. And I suggested that he go and get his testosterone levels checked, his his lipids checked, his thyroid checked, and it turned out that he was having problems with his vision as well. And it transpired that he had a serious thyroid problem that affected the pituitary gland as well. So that's what made me start thinking that when someone has got a problem with their vision as well, although I'm not an optometrist, I've got no experience working with the eyes, I always suggest they go and get their blood test done as well. On this occasion, it was well worth suggesting because he got his tests done and he had to go on to quite an extraordinary amount of medication to prevent that problem worsening. So, all right, orbital fat. And then finally, fat-soluble vitamins. Well, ironically, people with fat stores are often deficient in fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K. These vitamins get trapped in larger fat cells, making the vitamins unavailable to you. Now, okay, so that's the three types of bad fat. Now, everybody, I imagine, in the world has got three types of bad fat, one more than the other, one less than the other, stored in the body. And those fats, the bad fat, can also be stored where the good fat is, subcutaneous, orbital, around the body. So you can have fat in areas which ordinarily you should have fat, but sometimes an excess amount of it can could cause health problems. Now remember, as per in the last video, the three types of fat, good, bad, and the ugly's perhaps that's going to be in the next short video, and perhaps that should be given a different term. But of course, the good, the bad, and the ugly is a term that we can all recognize, and that I imagine that can go to a lot of things, not just in the body, but in our lifestyles as well. So remember, if you are storing excess fat, subcutaneous fat around the eyes, and fat in the cells, that non-soluble vitamins as well, there's a possibility it's going to lead to poor health or increased metabolic diseases, cardiovascular disease. So the first thing to do is to take a look at yourself in the mirror, go and get your body composition readings done, and you can do that yourself with a relatively low cost set of scales, maybe 50, 60 pounds worth of body composition scales, which are going to give you your subcutaneous fat, your visceral fat. And of course, the final thing to do is to go and see a specialist, a general practitioner or a specialist, and have your blood test done or even a saliva test done. And it will give you a more conclusive evidence of excess fatty storage. But go by your eye test first. If you've got a lot of abdominal fat, fat around the face, fat around your back, excess fat around your back and your hips. And if you're a woman, your hips and inside your thighs, and some men as well. Some men that carry too much excess fat on the body start to develop a increased estrogen levels in the body and increased female attributes, body language, how you stand. But one of the biggest signs is excess fat around the abdominals, and which is quite an unsightly part as well, and that's gynecomastia, excess fatty tissue around the chest area and the inside of the thighs. And when you see a man with fat in those areas, inside the thighs, the chest area, okay, that is a 100% a visual indicator of poor health. Now, a man can have a bit of a big belly on him. That's poor health. But when if you're a man and you start to get fat inside your thighs and your lower back and your chest area, where it should be muscle, you should, without any question, go and seek medical advice from your GP or your practitioner, or go and see a dietitian or personal trainer, someone who can guide you in the right direction. Do your research first. Make a point of getting referrals if you're going to go and see a trainer, if you're going to go and see a dietitian or a nutritionist. Whatever you do not go and seek help or professional help from a overweight trainer or an overweight therapist or an overweight dietitian. That is the last person you should seek advice from, irrespective of how many books they've read, how many exams they've taken, how many courses they've passed. Do not get professional advice, that's professional and amateur, from an overweight trainer or an overweight dietitian. And actually, there's probably a good cause to seek out a GP or an endocrinologist that at the very least looks healthy. Do not get professional advice from overweight or obese doctors, overweight or obese nurse practitioners. Yes, they can take your tests, they can take your bloods, but don't get advice from them. Get your advice from someone at the very least is not just qualified, but also looks relatively healthy to the eye test. All right, that's today. The bad fat. This is a short video again today. The final one is going to be the ugly. We've done the good, we've done the bad. The next one's going to be the ugly. My name's Tristan Lowe. The channel is Health No Filter. You can find me on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and LinkedIn. Until the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep yourself healthy. Bye for now.